guys, today we're addressing the question of why do I hate tidying up? We're gonna keep things positive, but I don't particularly enjoy tidying up or cleaning.
I definitely dislike it. So today we're gonna talk about why you might hate tidying up and more importantly, what we can do about it. I have a couple of friends that claim that they love to tidy up. I personally can't really relate to that, and most people I know, they don't like tidying up at all. For me, I'd say it's because it's repetitive. I have to do it again and again and again. Like, I just finished wiping the mirrors and 5 seconds later, there are smudges on there again.
Isn't there always something that you'd rather be doing than tidying up or cleaning? I mean, I know for myself that's the case. Although there is a certain reward from being able to like finish a task, finish tidying up, looking at a clean room. But that usually just comes afterwards, and it doesn't really stop me from, hating the idea of doing it before I've actually gotten started.
Not to mention, when you clean the toilet, there's always someone that goes in there right afterwards and spends some time there. So it could be
Was
gross
that like a hidden
tidying
jab
up.
at me? Wow.
Our
Are we
kids,
going there on our YouTube channel? Let's move. Oh, wow.
Tidying up can be gross sometimes.
That escalated quickly.
So there are a million reasons why it can be difficult tidying up. Not to mention having kids around. You probably have other personal reasons for why you don't like tidying up, but now we're gonna go into some good news.
And that is that there are plenty of ways to actually get past this feeling of I hate tidying up, I don't like cleaning, I don't like spending time on keeping my house tidy just because, of the reasons that we just mentioned. And we're gonna get a little bit technical, a little bit psychological. You might argue that, we're already a little psychological, but but bear with us because I think there are a lot of good tips and tricks in there that might help you to get past this feeling in your own life.
The first thing we're gonna tell you about is something called temptation bundling.
Yep, and to explain what that is, there was an experiment made where you had 3 groups of people, and the idea was to try to get them to be more active in going to the gym and exercising regularly. So the first group was given an audiobook, and they only had access to that audiobook on their iPad or whatever device they were using while they were at the gym. The second group was also given an audiobook, and they were told you can listen to it whenever, but we encourage you obviously to go to the gym and listen to it while you're exercising. And then the third group was given a 25, that kind of makes more sense, $25 gift card at Amazon. Now, the outcome was that the first group, the one that only had access to the audiobook at the gym, was 51% more likely to exercise than the Amazon gift card group, and even around 30% more likely to exercise than the group that got the audiobook and had access to it all the time. So there you have the general concept of what temptation bundling is.
Basically, it's taking something that you enjoy very much and something that you don't enjoy very much, but you have to do. And then you fuse them together, and then you actually end up with something that is tolerable or even likable. So, some of the things you could do here is to get an audiobook, like from the example, but also find your cleaning playlist that you only listen to
make
when
up
you're
your
cleaning.
own playlist. Add the songs to that playlist that you would really enjoy and would
Get you
motivate
moving.
you to clean or tidy up when you decide to do that. So here's the thing. We both work outside of the home. We've got 3 kids, we've got the YouTube channel, we've got responsibilities elsewhere, and that means that we don't get as much time together as we would like. So one of the things that we do to temptation bundle is to take the temptation of spending time together and clean while we're doing it.
Yeah, it makes cleaning less horrible, and it makes spending time together a possibility.
So something that you might consider doing is, if you've got people in your household that you really would like to spend more time with, then maybe spend that time with them while cleaning up or doing something else that's productive. That, I think, is a good idea. We usually get some good conversations out of it. We learn to know each other better. One of the things that I've learned about you while you're cleaning and tidying up is
I was like, what's he gonna say? Have you learned something interesting about someone you clean with? Let us know, especially if it's juicy.
Please don't.
So temptation bundling is one thing that you can do to make tidying up more desirable. So what's something that you can bundle with tidying up? Let us know in the comments below. Sometimes I shower while I'm cleaning. I clean the shower as I'm showering. I don't know if we should put that on there, but I do that sometimes.
Is that a temptation for you? Like, I'm gonna take a shower.
Well,
So get like 3 minutes away from the kids.
oh yeah. I still get those like knocks on the door, or if I forget
You
to
get, like, a
lock, they're
handful.
like, Mom! I'm like, go talk to Poppy. Now we've talked a lot about temptation bundling, but we still have a few more tricks up our sleeve that'll help you with the desire of wanting to clean better. But we still have a few more tricks up our sleeve that deals more with the mental blocks and physical blocks that are there when it's time to clean.
The physical barriers have to do with your physical environment when it is time to clean, or you find yourself making the decision, do I clean or not? So for example, if you've got a bunch of toys down in the living room and the boxes for those toys are on a different level, either upstairs or down in the basement, then that might be a physical barrier because you have to actually pick up those toys and physically carry them to where they belong. Now, the mental barriers have more to do with your internal dialogue when you're trying to make the decision of, do I actually do this thing, or do I go and, do something completely different, go out for a walk, or go get some ice cream, or I don't know,
Watch
learn how to
TV.
ride a bike if you haven't learned how to do that yet. But taking note of that internal dialogue that takes place when you're making that decision, like for example, you look at a mess that needs to be tidied up and you say, no, you know what, I don't have to clean this up now, I can do it after dinner, and then you sit down on the couch and you just never get up again. No, hopefully that's not the case. But you might also say, is it really worth it? Like I'm gonna tidy this up, and then 5 minutes from now the kids are gonna make a mess again. So like internally you're basically justifying to yourself, I'm not gonna clean up now, I don't like it, I hate tidying up. And as a result, you don't tidy up. And in psychological terms, those are called resistors, the physical and mental barriers that keep you from exhibiting a certain behavior. And depending on what that behavior is, it might be good to actually try to remove those resistors, which is the case when it comes to cleaning up.
But when it comes to things like overeating, you might want to put in those resistors so that you don't do that behavior.
Exactly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. And when it comes to these physical barriers, we actually did a video a couple of weeks ago that talks about how to feel productive with very little effort. And one of the things that we discussed was this idea of taking your to-do list and prioritizing the things that have like a domino effect. Some of it was focused on, the mental part, but it was largely focused on the things that, you can do around the house in a physical sense to make it physically easier for you to tidy up and clean up. So when you're done watching this video, you should definitely go check that one out as well.
When it comes to the mental resistors, something that really helps is when you don't feel like doing something, or when you start that inner dialogue telling you, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, then to just stop for a second and envision what the outcome is gonna be like, how you're gonna feel when you're done, and just how much better your day is gonna be the rest of the day if you actually end up doing this task. And not just think about it, really sit down and envision this.
Close your eyes and
meditate.
And feel the feelings.
Light a candle, maybe. No,
Let's say
but
you do
really,
that, yeah.
envision it and have a mental image that you can hold on to as you're performing the task.
And by doing that, you'll be largely removing that mental resistor that is keeping you from tidying up in the first place.
Hey, now I'm over here and I'm wearing different clothes because it's a different day. In editing, we were looking at this and we found out we're not really giving you all that we can give you to help you with those resistors. So another really powerful tip that you can use is to remove yourself from the situation. And here, of course, we're not talking about just kind of getting out of there and leaving everything the way it is, because that's not the point here. The point is to get better at it and fixing things. So imagine that you're a little bird that can see everything from up high and you have a perfect view of whatever's going on. You can pause time and just really think, what's actually going on right here? What would actually help? And what's gonna have the biggest long-term benefits? You can see all this from your perfect vision up there. We all know it when we're giving advice to a friend. It's way easier seeing their situation and knowing exactly what they should do. But when it's our own situation, the chaos is going on in our mind and it's a lot harder to see clearly. So this is basically you giving advice to yourself on how to get rid of those mental resistors. If you, like us, say, I hate tidying up a lot of the time, then we hope you got something out of this video that'll help you overcome that. And if you did, make sure to hit that like button so that we know that you like this video.
Yeah, and then we'll see you next week. Yes, it's one of those things.
Just keep going
Oh,
with it.
no, I thought you were talking to me.
No.
Yes, it's one of those things. Busy Lives, a YouTube channel, as you very well know. As you very well know.
Psychological.